Good morning and welcome to the annual State of the City Luncheon hosted by the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce. It's my honor to welcome you here today as the chair of the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Please take your seats, and we have a real treat for you. Aaliyah Kilgore, who will sing and set the stage for our event by presenting our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, that was amazing, and what it makes it even more amazing is that when she's not doing this, she also serves as a manager in the Denver Metro Small Business Development Center, which is a chamber affiliate, which means we got her for free today. The Denver Metro SBDC provides resources, education, and consulting to help small businesses start, grow, and succeed. Small businesses, as you know, are the backbone of our economy, and the SBDC assures that every entrepreneur has the resources they need to grow and become an integral part of the business community. Aaliyah, thank you. As our program unfolds today, we encourage you to tweet about today's event, to share what you're learning and your own thoughts on the topics of today. The hashtag is DMCC and the chamber handle is @DenChamber. And if anybody knows how to do it, please come up to table 6 to help me later on. All right, you're supposed to be eating, not talking. Before we move into the program, I want to thank some key people who are in the audience. We have all levels of elected officials here with us today, including mayors, members of the city council, county commissioners, state legislators, statewide elected officials, and representatives of Colorado's congressional delegation. Would all the elected officials and their representatives in the room please stand to be recognized for your service to our state. We're honored to have you in attendance. I would also ask that my fellow board of directors for the chamber rise. It is an honor for me to be among such good company. Your efforts help the chamber, and you no doubt contribute to its success. Many of you have devoted significant time to the chamber's policy efforts by being part of the Legislative Policy Committee and other committees. So please stand and let us thank you. We have a great program today for you. As always, this event is focused on public policies that help shape the region's economy and its business community success. We are honored to have great speakers here with us today. Lakewood Mayor Bob Murphy, Aurora Mayor Steve Hogan, Sarah Reynolds, Executive Director of Housing Colorado, Colorado State Senator Jesse Ulibarri, and our keynote speaker, Denver Mayor Michael Hancock. We all realize the strength of our regional and collaborative approach to solving our toughest challenges we face as a community. We share in success, and together we fight to overcome our failures. While this event is called State of the City, we think of it in terms of state of our region. And this year, while we were honored to have Mayor Hancock deliver a keynote on the state of one of our great cities, we will be talking with other elected officials about our region. So thank you in advance, Mayor Hancock, for sharing your vision for Denver with us today. We also have a panel discussion featuring many of the issues in the Denver metro market, including challenges in our housing marketplace, specifically the lack of condo housing. When you look around the metro area today, you see growth and construction all around. Those cranes are a good sign, but when you look more closely, you'll find that all of the new multifamily residential construction is for rent, not for sale. Our metro mayors first identified this community problem more than a year ago, and since then they led the charge to identify this problem and to convene a group of diverse stakeholders, work with legislators, and find a solution to address the lack of condominium construction in Colorado. Solving this problem has implications for our transit system, our first-time home buyers, many of whom are young, our empty nesters, and the stability of our communities. We will explore these issues more in our panel, but first I'd like to invite the market president for Colorado Chase, today's presenting sponsor, JP Morgan Chase, Todd Munson, onto the stage to make presenting sponsor remarks and to introduce Denver City and County Mayor Michael Hancock.
Welcome, good afternoon. As the Colorado Market President for JP Morgan Chase, it's an honor to represent nearly 2,000 of my colleagues and our firm as presenting sponsor of the Metro Chamber's 2014 State of the City Address. Many of us at JP Morgan Chase have worked in close collaboration with the Chamber over the years as board members, committee members, and as last year's Global Cities Initiative host here in Denver. We appreciate the opportunity to partner with our friends at this great organization for today's event as well. Let me start my very brief remarks with a little audience participation, and by a show of hands, how many of you in the last 90 days have had someone from some part of the country tell you they're jealous that you live and work in Denver? Happens to me every day. We're indeed a lucky bunch. Although in my mind, Thomas Jefferson had it right when he said, "I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it." TJ, my bud, was clearly a smart guy and a person of great vision. I think he would have loved Denver and the city builders we are so fortunate to have driving our success today. I believe that in Denver, we are witnessing something unique that we don't see in every community throughout our nation: economic vitality, cranes downtown, job growth. We are so fortunate to have a political, economic, and nonprofit communities that work together, all with the can-do attitude, all engaging the business community with a positive, inclusive approach. When we see problems that we can tackle together, we do. And we're not afraid to invest in our community during economic downturns, periods when this community invested in a new convention center, built athletic stadiums, and the T-Rex system. JP Morgan Chase is committed to making positive change in our community and addressing our economic and social challenges. We do this by understanding those local issues because we live and work here, and we bring the strength of our firm, our global reach, expertise, personal relationships, and access to capital. We also believe in the power of the American enterprise to make communities better, something we all have in common today. Denver is especially known for its entrepreneurial spirit at which J.P. Morgan Chase continues to nurture as title sponsor of Denver Startup Week, which kicks off September 15th. I look forward to seeing all of you at Base Camp. Startup Week is just one of the pieces of our commitment to this great community. Of course, we are committed to our clients, 1.5 million consumers, and more to the 100,000 small and large businesses and governments along the Front Range. We're honored to provide them banking services and make them proud of their affiliation with our organization. Through our philanthropic commitments with nonprofit organizations, focusing on the areas of workforce readiness, small business development, and affordable housing, our firm contributed more than $2 million in Colorado charities in 2013. In partnership with these organizations, this advances our commitment to strategic, long-term investments that support the small business community and prepare our workforce for middle skills jobs that will grow our economy and continue to strengthen a family's ability to support itself, buy a home, and live a fulfilling life in our community. We recognize the importance of home ownership, and we continue to address these needs through our mortgage products, but also through our philanthropic commitments and affordable housing programs to nonprofits such as the Coalition for the Homeless and Building Homes for Heroes, a program donating mortgage-free homes to injured veterans and their families. We all should feel very fortunate to be part of this great community in Denver, where we have a strong spirit of collaboration and regionalism. When we roll up our sleeves, think regionally, and work together, we get the job done here. We're also very fortunate to be led by a mayor with a vision to keep our city and community going strong. Michael Hancock became Denver's 45th mayor in July 2011 and immediately began to transform Denver into a global, competitive, and connected city. The mayor has developed strategic short and long-term business plans to support and grow Denver's diverse, intelligent, forward-leaning businesses in emerging industries such as clean energy, biotechnology, telecommunications, aerospace, and the healthcare community. Through this work, Denver's economy is at the forefront of American cities, offering among the strongest job and housing markets in the United States. The mayor also believes there is nothing more important than helping every young person in every neighborhood compete and succeed in the 21st century. He is aligning all city departments with nonprofits, the business community, and educational organizations to better prepare all children for every stage of life. The mayor has brought meaningful reform to the Denver Police Department by establishing new leadership that has reorganized the department to get our highly trained officers out of the office and back onto the streets. These steps together strengthen Denver's unparalleled quality of life. It's a privilege and an honor to introduce a great leader who is creating new communities in our great city and county, opportunities not only for individuals and businesses, but opportunities for ideas and concepts that are bringing national attention to our region and helping Denver thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Michael B. Hancock.
Wow, thank you all so very much, and it's an absolute pleasure, always a pleasure, to be with the Chamber of Commerce and to be a part of this annual event. Let me first thank, we always thank the elected officials first, but I want to thank Kelly Bruff, Chairwoman Donna Lynn, and the entire Metro Chamber of Commerce team for the tremendous work they do every day on behalf of this entire metro region. Not only these great events, but the work they do in blocking down field and helping us as a region get fit and compete around the world. We couldn't do a lot of the great things that are happening in this region without the Metro Chamber of Commerce. And so to Kelly Bruff, you and your entire team, Chairwoman Donna Lynn, thank you so very much for your work. Now you all might get tired of the introductions of elected officials, but I'm always honored to acknowledge those who I get a chance to work alongside with on a daily basis, addressing the opportunities and challenges of this great city of ours. And so I want to acknowledge those members of the Denver City Council who are here, if you would permit me to do so. I understand in the room today are council members Kanish, the council president Chris Herndon, Councilman Brooks, Councilwoman Sussman, Councilman Nevitt, Councilwoman Lehman, and Councilwoman Debbie Ortega are here. Would you join me in thanking, and Councilman Charlie Brown in the big cowboy hat. Thank you, council members, Denver City Council. I see quite a few of our regional leaders here today. I'm going to ask the mayors to stand up and be acknowledged as well. All of the elected mayors and members of the county commissioners. I know we had elected officials stand, but I think it's worth thanking them again. Please stand up. I know Murphy's here, see Gunning. Thank you all. You all are here. Thank you. And last but not least, certainly not least, are our state legislators. At the front table is someone who just absolutely stole my heart this year with his courage. And we're going to hear a lot about the construction defects law, but Senator Jesse Ulibarri is one courageous son of a gun. And the work that he's done, thank you so much for all that you've done. And I understand that Dan Pabon is in the house as well. If you ever want to start a party, start with Representative Dan Pabon. Thank you for being here. To all of our state legislators, listen, I'm just pleased to tell you today that Denver didn't just march out of the recession, Denver ran out of the recession. We are leading the nation, setting the pace, really, about how to best respond, having coming out of the worst economic recession this nation's ever seen outside of a Great Depression. And someone, wise man once told me, if you see a turtle on a fence, you know he didn't get there by himself. And so I cannot at all, with a straight face, talk about all the good work that's happened over the last 3.5 years that I've been mayor of this great city without acknowledging the team that stands with me in the foxhole, going deep, solving challenges, leveraging opportunities, helping to make this city one of the best in the nation coming out of the recession. According to Forbes magazine, one of the best in the nation when it comes to doing business. According to many other magazines, putting us at the top on so many different metrics. There's good news about Denver, Colorado, as Todd talked about. And so I want to acknowledge my team, the team at the city and county of Denver, not just the folks I get to hire, but all 10,000 city employees for the work that they do. Many of them are in this room. Would you all stand up, take a bow so we can say thank you to you? Please do. Thank you. There they are. Since coming into office, we've eliminated the budget deficit, we've fostered a diverse economy, and we've restored much needed services to give the people of Denver, the taxpayers, a sense that their government, that their city has indeed recovered from the recession. I can tell you unequivocally that the state of this city is, we're vibrant and we're thriving. There's good news to substantiate what I've just said. 27,000 jobs have been created in the last 3 years. 1,500 new businesses to this city since 2011. Just last year alone, 8,200 new jobs created right here in the Mile High City. Our unemployment rate, our employability rate in this city is one of the strongest in the nation. Today, our unemployment rate is 5.5%, well below the national average. We owe you all a great deal of thanks for that, and for your partnership, and for your courage in hiring people, trusting that this economy is truly recovered, and investing. Like I said, Forbes calls us the 4th best place in the country to do business. This magazine or news outlet called NerdWallet says we're the best city in the nation for job opportunities. That must be why all these millennials are moving here to our city. You know, last year, tourists spent some $4.1 billion, record, in the city and county of Denver. They have clearly stated that Denver is the place to be. So thank you to all of our tourists. I love talking to all of you. I love asking you, how's it going out there? And I can tell you, not only am I saying that we're vibrant and we're thriving coming out of the recession, But each of you have told me there's a great deal of confidence in the market. There's a good feeling. There's a great sense of place in Denver right now. And we want to maintain that. I want you to know in partnership, we hope to maintain that with you. Now, while we celebrate the good news that's happening, of all the good things that are happening in the city and county of Denver, let me also acknowledge the fact we recognize that we also have some challenges that we must remain very diligent about addressing. Let me share just a few of those with you. I believe if we're going to truly realize the full potential of places like Arapahoe Square and downtown and the Brighton corridor, we've got to get a handle on our homeless situation in this city. I know I'm speaking to the choir when I say that, but I want to set a different tone with regards to what we're trying to do. First of all, I am excited about our partnership with the Lawrence Community Center and Stabilization Hub. The opportunity to serve our homeless with dignity, and give them a place to queue up while also taking showers and a place to rest without being preyed upon by the criminal element. That's important in this city. But I want to share with you something that my mother taught me as a kid. She had me out pulling weeds one day, Kelly, and I was pretty good at it. And I used to comment about these weeds that I would say, Mom, look at these. This is a tall weed. This is a ugly weed. Mom, look, this one pricks your finger. And my mom said something to me that at that point in time didn't mean anything, but today I think about it as I consider how we address challenges in the city. She said to me, what you see above ground is the least important part of that weed. You see, if you want to make sure you never see this again, you need to get what's underneath the earth. Pull the root. Go to the heart of this weed. What feeds this weed? What helps it to thrive? Get it from underground. And then truly you will have the essence of the problem. Now, when you're 7 years old and you hear that kind of stuff, that doesn't really mean much to you. But when I'm sitting with our team and we're addressing issues like homelessness, it begs the question, what is the root of the problem? And what we determine is, we can provide housing and outreach as much as we want, but if we don't get to the root of the problem of our chronically homeless, we will never be able to truly nix the challenge. I've said from day one, Denver cannot address the homeless issue by itself. And that's why I was so honored and proud to join my counterparts, other mayors of the Metro Caucus, and I want to thank Mayor Hogan from Aurora and Mayor Gunning from Lone Tree, who are leading the Homeless and Hunger Committee to help determine or design a plan for us as a region to address the issue of homelessness. First and foremost, it's a metro regional issue. We should work together to solve it. Secondly, if we're going to get to the root of it, we must understand why there's so many chronically homeless on our street. Let me prove this to you through an anecdote. You may have heard during the Clinton Global Initiative, we announced an initiative called the Social Impact Bond Program. I want you to listen to what I'm about to say for those of you who have not heard this. Several years ago, some very smart people in the city and county of Denver started to track some 300 chronically homeless. 300. And in tracking them, we found out that these 300 people, chronically homeless, account for 14,000 nights in jail, 1,000 arrests, 2,400 visits to detox, 600 visits to the emergency room. 300 people, costing the taxpayers of Denver $11 million a year. I don't think you guys heard what I just said. 300 people, $11 million a year, chronically homeless. We've got to break the cycle from street to jail, to detox, to the emergency room, and back to the streets. The social impact program, bond program, works like any other bond program in the city. Investors buy the bonds. We take those dollars and we invest them in real solutions: housing, case management, mental health services, drug and alcohol abuse, substance abuse, job training. The savings from decreased number of days in jail, decreased arrests, emergency room visits, and detox of this population are used to pay the investors. I'm so excited, and I want to celebrate Carrie Kennedy and her entire finance team for helping us develop this construct. That's, by the way, already being used in New York and Chicago and other cities. This program will help us raise hopefully $8 million to boldly begin to address the root causes of these chronically homeless in our city. The time is now for us to get real serious and break this cycle. And so thank you again, Carrie, for that. The other area that we need to get really focused on to address challenges is housing, of course, affordable housing. Last year during the State of City address, I challenged the city to develop a 3x5 initiative called 3,000 housing units in 5 years. Now, we're 30,000 short, so it's like giving a well a tic-tac. But the idea was not so much to say we're going to solve the problem with this initiative, but to begin to encourage a collaboration between the private sector, the public sector, and the non-for-profit sector, the CHODOs that are already involved in providing affordable housing. Last year, we developed 700 affordable housing units, well above the number that we set for a year. So we're well on our way to accomplishing the mission. The other thing that we'll do this year is we will announce a new 5-year strategy called our housing plan. So it will guide us for the next 5 years. And one of the things that we hope to be able to do through this housing plan is to create a revolving loan fund. The city is already putting money into this revolving fund. And the ideal is, again, not thinking that our dollars are going to solve all the challenges, but to leverage the presence of private sector partners. This revolving loan fund is going to create hundreds of affordable housing units in this city. And the dollars that come from those developments will go right back into the revolving loan fund, and again, creating a permanent place, a permanent tool for us to create affordable housing. Let me park here and finish this issue out on housing for just a moment. Today you're going to see a panel, and thank you, Ty, you did a great job, I think, of beginning to frame what's going to happen in just a moment with great mayors and Senator Ulibarri and Kelly Brough. I want you to understand something. This bill that was passed in 2001, and to see the lack of production of the for-sale condo market has been more than enough evidence to prove to us that this is indeed a problem that we have to move expeditiously to solve at the state level. When we do see these type of projects occur, usually 2/3 of them are for-sale condos, 1/3 rentals. Right now, these projects are being developed with over 80% rentals. I toured the I-25 in Bellevue TOD site recently, and there are hundreds of units under construction. And I did to the developer what we like to do as parents. I asked a question I already knew the answer to. Don't tell my kids that. I said, how many of these units are for sale? And he looked at me like I had a horn growing out the side of my head. He said, none of them. And then I asked another question I already knew the answer to. I said, why not? And he said, Mayor, construction defects. He said, we had to sign a deal that committed us to 8 years where we wouldn't convert these units to for sale with the developer, with the contractor, before they would even begin to move dirt. I don't know what indicators our legislators are looking at to determine whether or not this is the crux of the problem, but they need to take a tour of I-25 in Bellevue. They need to visit some of these other TOD sites to truly understand that indeed We are being hamstrung by this law in the state of Colorado, and we need to move quickly to remove this hurdle, this barrier, this hand constraint for the development of affordable condo complexes in this city. And so I'm going to continue to stand with my mayor, my fellow mayors across the region as we address this. Let me move on. So those are the challenges, homelessness and housing. One more. I promise I'm done with challenges. I know you've been reading in the paper and maybe seen on television regarding this sheriff's issue. I know that you were just as disappointed seeing those images as I've been. Embarrassed is really the word. We should demand and expect more from our deputies inside our detention facilities. We're going to get this right. You have my word. The people of Denver deserve better, and we're going to get it right. And we're going to stay focused on real solutions, not playing political games, but focused on transforming that detention facility and respectability of our sheriff's department in real substantive way. We're not going to let the chatter get to us. The time is now for us to make this transformation and return respectability back to our sheriff's department. And so I'm going to stand before you today right now, as I've said from day one. This is not okay. It's unacceptable to me. We're going to fix it. You have my word. We'll correct it. So let's turn to the opportunities now. There's a lot going on in our city. Our number one mission in 2012, when my administration released our Jumpstart economic development strategies, was really to increase job opportunities, to attract and retain good companies in this city, and to prepare our workforce for the 21st century. I can tell you the strategies are working. Based on what I just shared with you early on about some of the indicators are telling us that Denver is thriving and thriving well. We're not doing it alone. We're not trying to take all the credit. We're trying to tell you that in partnership with you, these strategies are making a difference. But we recognize through our strategies that we must have a deeper bench, that we need small, medium, and large companies as part of our diverse economy to help us to remain strong. The recession showed us that. And so we've been hard at work attracting new companies, and I'm proud to say that we were able to attract Ardent Mills and Layer 3 TV and Namjet to Denver just last year. And we saw the expansion of several companies as well, including FedEx and URS and Penske and Mansville Corporation, some companies that were literally about to leave Denver. And Paul Washington and his team developed strategies to work with them to keep them here, part of which, of course, is our business investment program and our tax incentives to maintain jobs and to grow jobs here in the city. We also are focused on workforce development, developing a 21st century workforce ready to compete in the global marketplace. And while I'm there, let's congratulate Denver Public Schools on the gains that were reported yesterday. And I will tell you that Superintendent Boasberg, yes, give him a hand. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. Two things. No one expects Denver Public Schools to be at the top. Probably expect them to be at the bottom. This urban school district is the top in growth in the state. Secondly, Boasberg, Superintendent Boasberg and the entire Board of Education, I'm sure will tell you, while we're proud of the gains we've made, it's not good enough. We got a lot of work to do. We're not closing the achievement gap fast enough. And so we need to remain diligent with regards to all that we're doing to bring our kids and bring them forward and get them caught up. And that brings me to the initiative that's on the November ballot. Please stand with us and join with us and support reauthorizing the Denver preschool program, where over 70% of our 4-year-olds are part of the program. And as they enter the 3rd grade, they already are testing advanced or proficient, higher than their peers who didn't come through the program. And so I personally ask for your support. But let me finish with the opportunities that are going on. One, we have a new retail strategy that's working that we unveiled this year to attract not only the big hubs, but also small neighborhood retailers to the area. Great decisions were made leading up to the attraction of the Patent and Trademark Office, leading all the way back to McNichols' era. All the infrastructure investments we made was really the crux of what brought the Patent Office here. And so we're beginning to reap the benefits here. We also want to support the innovation centers. I see my man here from from CTA, Eric. The city and county of Denver, in partnership with Downtown Denver Partnership and CTA, are about to open up one of the new innovation hubs right here in downtown Denver. The same that we're seeing going on with industry and taxi and galvanize, really providing the opportunity for entrepreneurs to exercise their innovative spirit and to grow their small businesses. And so while we try to bring a mix to the economy, we're focused on our small, the medium, and large companies. We're focused on innovation centers where we're growing our entrepreneurs to continue to be the startup and small business capital of this nation. We recognize that we need a deeper bench as we face the volatility of this economy. And never again will Denver be caught off guard. The biggest opportunity I believe we have, of course, is Denver International Airport and Kim Day and her team. Last year had a record number, $661 million in revenue. CDOT adjusted its economic impact number for DIA. Today it's a $26 billion plus economic impact for our entire region. So far this year, we've seen 26 million passengers come through DIA, well on our way to breaking passenger records at this airport. Our global connectivity is growing. Later this year, many of us will board a plane for the inaugural flight to Panama City, opening the doors to Central and South America. That's pretty exciting, don't you think? We have seen our international passenger numbers grow to 20%. We are breaking records every year because of these connectivity, this effort of global connectivity with DIA. Leveraging our greatest port, it's occurring. And that's why we need to keep DIA competitive. Many airports across the country are spending billions to compete with DIA. That's why the hotel and transit center is so important. That's why moving off the dime on the Aerotropolis is so important. And that's why global connectivity is so important. Next stop, the Middle East. We've got to get the Middle East under our belt. And that way we can continue to complete the circle of our global connectivity. So here's what our goal and objectives are under DIA. Remain fiscally competitive, growing our markets to the global marketplace, and of course, leveraging the engine that takes us to that marketplace and help us to remain competitive. The last part of opportunities I want to share with you is really our development. We're exploding in development. In June, we saw the most number of permits issued for development in the city in 10 years. Brad Buchanan and his team will be the first to tell you that we're working to perfect our development process. We are nowhere near where we want to be. He'll be the first to tell you that. But he just rolled out a new customer service center. The ideal is to move you faster where you need to be so you can get your projects moving faster out of the city and onto development. But we have some signature projects underway right now. NDCC, of course, which includes the National Western Stock Show, I-70, River North, Brighton Corridor, the TOD station there at the National Western, all are underway. We're in great planning for that right now, master planning it. 9th and Colorado Boulevard, Welton Corridor, where we use $5 million of our revolving loan fund in the city to leverage and attract $80 million for development. What a huge opportunity. We are seeing St. Anthony's and Gates, and while I'm at it, thank you, St. Joseph's, for the hundreds of millions of dollars you are investing in this city to build that new hospital and to create opportunities around the medical field for all of us here. We are seeing a transformation of the city of Denver right before our very eyes. But let me tell you something. Through RTD and the transit system, fast tracks that's underway, we're able to also go into neighborhoods that don't necessarily want us but need us to be there. Not want us in the sense they didn't invite us, but want us because you're government. They need us there. They've been underserved for years. Westwood, Sun Valley, Globeville, Elyria, Swansea. We're transforming those cities, those communities right now, creating a holistic approach to our city and our marketplace. That's pretty exciting stuff. But let me also tell you that through Transit-Oriented Denver, our goal is to take the 41 transit-oriented development sites in the city of Denver and go to them and bring the services and infrastructure they need in order to thrive. And so transit-oriented Denver is our plan to transform those sites so they are actually economic levers in our city. And Brad Buchanan and his team are leading the way. Today, I can tell you exactly what each state, the state of each of our transit-oriented development sites are based on their analysis and their strategy to go in and develop them. So we have a plan to move forward. And one of those plans is to transform the 38th and Blake TOD site. Today, you're going to hear about it for the first time. This is a health and wellness technologies site. Our goal is to build on the success of Fitzsimmons and what Mayor Hogan and the Aurora Economic Development Corporation has done so successfully. I believe a $3 billion economic impact today. To leverage that transit-oriented development site to bring innovation and to make it really the global center for digital healthcare. 15 minutes from Fitzsimmons, on the main line to DIA, being able to connect regionally, being able to connect internationally and access the global marketplaces, and being able to connect to Fitzsimmons. The ability to become the digital headquarters, digital healthcare center, right here in Denver, Colorado at 38th and Blake. Let me tell you what they say is their mission. This site is poised to become a model for how the private sector can leverage the local connection to our downtown, the regional connection of our light rail, and the international connection of our airport to deliver a hub that will grow our culture of ingenuity and strengthen our region's standing as a health and wellness leader. It will have everything: housing, retail, innovation, transit, and jobs. You'll hear more about this during Startup Week. In about, next week? Startup Week gets going out here? So we're going to unveil more about what's going to happen at 38th and Blake in just a few days. Let me finish. I've talked about a lot that's happening in the city of Denver, but I want you to know that the best is yet to come. There's a lot you don't see happening, but soon you will. If you think that the development that you see today is pretty exciting, wait until the next phase of development gets going in this city. If you think about the attraction of new jobs and innovation is exciting, wait until you see the next phase of what's on board and what we're working on. The best is yet to come. And so the charge for us is to make sure that this becomes and remains a city of opportunity for all, that we're lifting up those who need a little lifting up, that we're addressing the critical issues of homelessness and housing that allow us to be a well-rounded global city for everybody. That we're not ashamed or nervous about taking our brand to the international markets and say, this is a place that is open for business to you. That we become globally connected and globally competitive. And that we continue to work together so that we can succeed together. And it's not just about Denver's future. This is about our region's future. And so I'm proud to stand with you with the successes, but equally proud to stand with you. Equally proud to stand with you as we continue to build a region built for the 21st century. That is an opportunity, a region of opportunity for everyone who lives here. Thank you all, and God bless you. And now, it's my honor to present this year's Monte Pasco Civic Leadership Award. This award is presented annually to a person who has worked tirelessly to improve the community around them, promote international understanding, provide encouragement to others who seek to contribute to the community, fight for justice and equal opportunity for all people, and show a willingness to assume responsibility for leadership. This year's recipient is Kara Veach, Deputy Executive Director of the Department of Personnel and Administration. Kara joined the Colorado Department of Personnel and Administration as Deputy Executive Director in July of 2013. She embodies the essence of the Monte Pasco Award through her deep community involvement. Her civic involvement includes serving as a member of the Board of Directors for the Women's Bean Project, where she currently serves as board chair. She is also on the board of directors of the Colorado Legal Services, a member of the Denver Women's Commission, and chair-elect of Beyond Our Borders. Kara served as president of the Colorado Women's Bar Association in 2011 and 2012, and on the executive committee of the Colorado Bar Association from 2009 to 2011. She demonstrated her passion for education in Denver's youth when she volunteered to organize and coach George Washington High School's mock trial team from 2004 through 2009. She has more than 14 years of leadership, legal and executive experience, having worked as an attorney for Children's Voices, Inc. of Boulder, and as a business and legal real estate litigation partner at Isaacson Rosenbaum PC of Denver. Kara also served as Associate Director of Colorado Forum, where she advised Colorado's top business leaders on constitutional, fiscal, and educational challenges facing the state. Kara Veach, we are thrilled to present to you this award today. Please join me on stage to accept our thanks and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you to the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce for hosting me at today's wonderful luncheon. Thank you to the City and County of Denver for this award. I'm honored to receive the Monte Pasco Civil Leadership Award. When Mrs. Pasco called me to tell me I was receiving this award, I was speechless. And since that time, I've learned more about Monte Pasco and his work leading desegregation in Denver public schools and efforts to preserve Colorado open space. I'm humbled to be mentioned in the same sentence as this distinguished man, and his family is with us today. I'm the mother of 2 small children, and every day they inspire me to find better ways to better our community. And recently I reread to them one of my favorite books, The Lorax, so I leave you with this quote from there. "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not." Thank you.